I'm Ashley Kyle.
And I'm Bob Spicer.
And this is your Lake of the Ozarks news update brought to you by Lake TV and LakeExpo.com and sponsored by Yacht Club Powersports.
And today, what you need to know if you plan to rent out your lake home.
A missing person shows up in Benton County and gets arrested.
Lake TV checks out the Magic Dragon Street Meet.
New information in the homicide investigation in Camden County.
And the farmers market moves from Stonecrest Mall to a new location.
And 3 men who saved another man's life at a local restaurant. His family is calling them angels. We'll have that story and much more coming up, but first we'll take a look at what's happening at the lake this weekend that you won't want to miss. Starting on Thursday, you can check out the Greater Lake Area Swap Meet and Cruisin' at Windermere Baptist Conference Center in Roach. That'll be open Thursday from 1 to 8 and Friday and Saturday from 8 to 8. Admission is $5 per vehicle per day. You'll be able to shop for plants, fishing equipment, furniture, auto parts, small animals, and more. And while you browse, enjoy the classic cars, trucks, and motorcycles that show up for this special occasion.
Hot Summer Nights kicks off this Friday with the Route 66 detour to the lake. That's happening on the Bagnell Dam Strip in Lake Ozark from 6 to 11 p.m., rain or shine. Admission, participation, all free, so make sure you get out there, and all makes and models of cars and trucks and motorcycles will line the strip and cruise too. And this is a kid-friendly event with giveaways, helicopter rides, entertainment, and lots more. See you there.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol is hosting serial number verification stations around the lake this summer. Members of the patrol's Motor Vehicle Inspection Unit will perform verification starting this Friday. They're scheduled for every other Friday throughout the summer from 9 to 10 a.m. This Friday, officers will be at Public Beach number 2. You can bring your watercraft on a trailer or by water.
Pirates Cove Adventure Golf in Osage Beach is hosting the 10th annual Putting for Patriots fundraiser starting on Friday and running through May 30th. Donations for 3 organizations will be accepted. They are collecting for Hope for the Warriors, Homes for Our Troops, and TAPS. That stands for Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. In addition, a percentage of total sales on May 28th and 29th will be donated to the 3 charities who service our wounded veterans, their families, and survivors of the fallen. And since Putting for Patriots started, they've raised nearly $300,000 for veterans and their families.
And after you've warmed up your putting game at Pirates Cove, you might join in the Par 3 Challenge at Rolling Hills Country Club this Saturday. It's a 2-person scramble. All 18 holes will be set up at Par 3 lengths, and there won't be any holes longer than 180 yards for men and 150 yards for women. The shotgun start is at noon. It costs $30 for members or $35 for non-members to play.
The Missouri Department of Conservation is hosting its Conservation Kids Club this Sunday. The theme is Monarch Mayhem and Milkweed Merrymaking. You can check that out from 1:30 to 4:30 at the Camden Conservation Office, and that's on Thunder Mountain Road.
Well, that's just a taste of what's going on at the lake this weekend. You can go to LakeExpo.com for a full list of events. Coming up, the new location of the farmers market. We'll find out the latest on a homicide investigation in Camden County and what you need to know about renting out your lake home. That and much more after a word from Yacht Club Powersports.
Yacht Club Powersports has expanded to ensure you have fun on both land and water, on the trails and on the road with Can-Am, Kawasaki, Victory Motorcycles, Arctic Cat, and Polaris, which introduces the 2015 Slingshot. On the water as the world's #1 Sea-Doo dealer, and are proud to introduce the Supra and Moomba boat lines to the YC Powersports family. Look for our new showroom this summer off Formula Way in Osage Beach, and you can find us off Highway 63 in Columbia. Yacht Club Powersports, where the fun begins and never ends.
There were bugs and rats and T-Roadsters to pristine Corvettes. So many classic cars and customs that the entries were limited to just 1,000. Yep, it's the granddaddy of all street meets, the Magic Dragon Street Meet Nationals on the Bagnell Dam Strip in Lake Ozark. The Beach Boys were there, at least in spirit. Some classics were for sale, including this T-Bucket Roadster and this nice MGB sports car. Wonder what I could get for my 77. There were some really rare cars at the meet this year, including this Pontiac Safari.
In 56, 55, 57, they had the Series Safari, which they shared tooling with Chevrolet's Nomad.
Yeah.
After that, they didn't sell very many. They were like $300 more than the Nomad due to
Really?
the extra chrome.
Yeah.
So they discontinued it, and then I believe 59 came back using Safari as a trim package for all their station wagons.
And some expensive customs too, like this 55 Chevy convertible.
We had a guy come in, independent appraiser, and he appraised it for 145. So I've got less than that in it, but that's a good thing.
That's a good thing, in case you want to sell it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There were lots of people and lots of classics, and that's what it's all about. Bob Spicer at the Magic Dragon Street Meet for Lake TV. Want to grow your own avocado tree? How about a fresh baked pie or some homemade bread? It's all here all summer long at the Farmers Market at the Osage Beach Premium Outlets. Wait a minute, did I say the Osage Beach Premium Outlets?
Actually had been approached by the outlet mall, and they asked if we were interested, and we said yeah, and then we actually ended up at this spot, which is not technically owned by the outlet mall, but it's right here among all the excitement, and really much more high visible spot for us compared to where we were, and we felt like it was an increase for us in terms of our visibility and potential customers.
Look for the Farmers Market Saturdays from 9 to 1 all summer long. Bob Spicer for Lake TV.
What's been happening at the lake? Well, here's a look at some of the major stories from last week. And if you thought about renting your lake home to vacationers, you'll need to count the cost. Camden County is assessing those residences as commercial properties, and that means a big tax increase. Try 68% to be exact. Not surprisingly, many owners protest the change, pointing to, among other things, their residential zoning. But Camden County Assessor Kayla Henry says that reappraising is fair and legal. She says property isn't appraised based on how it's zoned, but on how it's used. And she also points out that this has been going on for a few years at the lake.
So if you're a homeowner, how is the county making the decision whether to reappraise your house?
Well, that's a good question, Ashley, and it comes down to how long your rent agreement is for. If you rent for less than 30 days, your property is subject to being reappraised as a commercial property, and if your rental agreements are for 30 days or more, that's considered a residential use. You should also know that if you get planning to get out of the vacation rental business because of this news, Henry says you'd be assessed at a lower rate for the next year's taxes. When 4 children were killed in a tragic fire at Compass Point condominiums last year, the community and public officials started looking for ways to prevent it from ever happening again. They formed a committee and gathered ideas about changes to the fire code that would help save lives. Osage Beach Fire Protection District's Board of Directors, they're going to host a public hearing to find out what the community thinks about all this and potential changes to the code. Hearing will be on Monday, June 6th, 6 p.m. at the School of the Osage High School Auditorium. Now, there won't be any decisions made at that time. It's just a chance to hear from you people in the community. And for a full list of proposed changes, check out the article at lakeexpo.com.
The body of a man found at a vacation home in Camden County has been positively identified, according to the Sheriff's Department. On May 5th, the medical examiner used dental records to confirm the body was that of Gregory Webb. Webb was the caretaker for the property where he was found, and he had been reported missing 5 days before deputies discovered his body. Evidence found at the scene led officers to classify the case as a homicide. In addition to the murder, several items were stolen from the scene, including a 1980s John Deere 400 lawn tractor and a black 4x8 carry-on trailer with 1 fender. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Camden County Sheriff's Office at 573-346-2243 or email them anonymously. That address is sheriff@camdenmo.org.
3 young men are now in custody after police say at least 2 of them sold drug-laced candy to local high schoolers, according to the Camden County Sheriff's Department. The men were distributing Lifesaver and Sour Patch Kid candies laced with liquid Xanax, high-grade marijuana, and some other substances. Investigators say they found drugs and Sour Patch Kids during a vehicle search, and they claim text messages on the men's phones showed that they were indeed dealing drugs. Tanner Dale Berg, Torrey Lee Thompson, and Henry Jason Van Dossel II were arrested and charged with 1 count each of distributing a controlled substance. Each posted a $3,000 bond, and it's set to appear in court on May 31st.
Last March, authorities thought they had lost Matthew Valentine. He was allegedly fleeing arrest when he tried to swim across the Big Niangua River near Tunnel Dam. He didn't make it and was swept downriver. The Camden Sheriff's Department listed Valentine as a missing person. Then, over a month later, Valentine turned up in Benton County and was arrested on the Camden County warrants he was fleeing the month before. Valentine is now in custody and is charged with tampering with a motor vehicle, resisting arrest, failure to appear, and 2 probation violations. He is set to appear in court on May 31st.
The daughter of a man who nearly died while dining at a Lake of the Ozarks restaurant is looking for the third man in what she calls a trio of angels that saved her father's life. Tiffany's dad, James, was dining at J.B. Hooks in Lake Ozark when he suffered sudden cardiac death. James fell to the floor, and Andrew, a member of the cooking staff, assumed he was choking and immediately began doing the Heimlich maneuver. 2 other men, Andy Conklin and a third, jumped in to help and laid James on the ground trying to clear his airways. They found he didn't have a pulse. They started chest compressions. The 3 men performed CPR for several minutes until the paramedics arrived, and James was released from the hospital earlier this month. His daughter says that she can't put into words how much it matters to her family what that trio did for her father that day. And here's a good use for social media. She got in touch with 2 of the 3 men through a message she posted on Facebook. Andrew from the kitchen at J.B. Hooks is trained in CPR and says he's not an angel, just glad he could be helpful. He also encourages everyone to take that CPR course. Andy Conklin became CPR certified while serving in Bosnia in the Army National Guard. Andy is a minister, by the way, with Regional Campus Ministries. Says the event reminded him that Jesus is always right there with us and has plans for us, whether they are our plans or not. Tiffany, by the way, is still looking for that third man.
What a great story. It's encouraging to know there are people out there who help out during a very scary situation, and I love this. The guys sang the song Staying Alive the whole time they kept James alive. CPR instructors frequently recommended people sing the song because it has a good tempo for performing chest compressions. That's it for this week's news update. I'm Ashley Kyle, and this has been your Lake of the Ozarks news update. Thanks for watching us on Como Connect Channel 90 and watch anytime on MyLakeTV.com. And now we're back on Charter Channel 197.
And remember to connect with us on Facebook and Twitter at MyLakeTV, and you can check out our Instagram page at @my_LakeTV. For Ashley Kyle, the entire news team from Lake TV and our news studio, I'm Bob Spicer, and have a great day.